This is my car here. It's a 2021 Toyota Camry, but I really want a Mark IV Supra, so don't blame me, okay? It's a childhood car. What's going on, YouTube? This looks like a John Mark Stevenson first video, but I promise you it's not. I'm making this video here to kind of signify this is the first day, this is the first time that I'm gonna be making videos like this where they're raw, but they're also personal, and they're gonna be personal to me, right? So I'm gonna wanna look in the future, and I'm gonna wanna look back at these and be like, this is what I was thinking, this is how I was like, and yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk about literally anything. One thing that's been on my mind recently is the fact that I feel like my mind has been so crowded. I feel like the way that I think has been blurred by other voices, by outside voices. And I don't feel like I can talk to myself in a way that everything that I think about is directly from me. I hate how this light is like in my eye. I don't know why that is. But I hope to look back on this video and be kind of surprised where I was at compared to where I will be. I'm really eager about the future. You know, I trust in myself. I have confidence. And if I didn't have it, I think I would crumble right now. But back on that topic of really knowing what comes in me and then what comes out of me. So even though I listen to a bunch of stuff online, I remix it and then spit it back out. If there's too much stuff though, there's a good enough input, but maybe the output, you know, I can't give that much output. So then it just adds to an overloading of mixes inside of me that I cannot spit back out. And then my brain gets mixed up, and I get clouded, I get foggy, and I get confused about what to say or what to do online. I've had content that I spit out on YouTube and on Instagram that is about a bunch of random things, but most importantly, they're all things that I was funneling through me thinking this is what people want to see, when I was not thinking this is what I want my future self to see. The same thing goes with lifestyle too. You know, if I'm eating a bunch of bullshit, my future self's gonna look back and say, you know, if my future self is the person who's ripped and he's eating fine, then he's gonna be saying like, what are you doing? Get your shit together. Stop eating like that. So, you know, it's important to have a clear picture of your future self. But beside that, I feel like I've cut out a lot of the things that has been bringing in too much input and then has been mixing up, but I'm not having enough output. And I like staying clear, so I'm gonna try to not bring in so much things that I'm learning. So for example, if I wake up, or let's say somebody wakes up and they scroll on their phone, I mean, right away they're feeding their mind of a bunch of random things that has nothing to do with them or their life. And then for the rest of the day, they feel confused or foggy or cloudy because they don't control their thoughts. The morning that you come back to consciousness, right? You go to sleep, you're unconscious, you come back, you immediately learn. And if you're intaking a bunch of stuff that is random and has nothing to do with your life, you're going to be confused because you're not going to be living that life for the rest of the day. It's like warming up a car. If you have a race car, I mean, I assume that we all want to be race cars, unless you want to be a broken down Honda Civic. It's up to you. I'd want to warm up my car first. It all starts with turning on the engine and then waiting for the engine to warm up, but it's not moving anywhere. You're waiting for it to warm up, and it is, but you're not driving the car. And so that's what I've been practicing. I mean, this morning was the first day that I actually genuinely explored that, where I woke up, I drank some water, I got ready to go on my walk, I took my coffee with me, and I have all my stories on Instagram that I post, so I can look back on those. And I don't open my phone. I take a picture of me journaling for my stories, but I just walk down my road. You know, I'm not listening to music. I'm just walking through the forest, and I'm thinking, I'm letting my thoughts run so that I know what I'm thinking is my thoughts. I'm not letting somebody else confuse or, you know, mix up my thinking before I do. I would like to know what my baseline is before anybody tries to move that baseline. And about 30 minutes into my walk, I was like, you know, I wish I had something to learn from. I love learning. I love intaking. So that's why I wanted to learn. And luckily, the road that I walked down on, I don't get any service. So even though I had my phone, I couldn't just pull up anything. So I kept walking down my road. And as I'm seeing the sun stream its rays, its golden yellow rays through the trees onto my face. Beautiful blue sky with clouds that are like polka dots, and they're so far up. I love it. And I'm noticing all of these thoughts running through my head that they almost don't even feel like mine. They feel like other personalities is the first word. Other charismas. They feel like other lines. Like different lines. They just feel different. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like one collective one. Like just one of my, like just a single point of extracting thoughts. That can be used to my advantage. I can take my thoughts and streamline them and think in a certain way. And then I can take another line of thoughts and think in another certain way. And I can think of another way. And in a way, I almost put a personality to them. But, you know, it comes to a point where, well, that's just fucking crazy. And next thing you know, you have a disorder that is medically induced and you're in a mental hospital. So we're not going to try to get there. We're not. But I use it to my advantage as it almost feels like an external way of thinking. I have my own way of thinking, but it feels like I'm pulling from the web that's not from the web. And I love it because I tend to get ideas, or I tend to get words that pop into my head, and for some reason I have no idea what they mean. No idea. For example, there was I heard like a thought popped up saying my thinking is so I forgot the word, but I think it was like Octavius or something, or some word along there. I just didn't know what it means. And I looked it up right away, and it turns out it was a part of the brain that is derived from wisdom thoughts. And I was like, how the fuck did I know a word that I never even searched up? And I don't even know anything about the real parts of the brain. So why did that thought popped up? And you know, it comes from there, but it also comes from other things. So if there was something I was thinking about history, I would think of that, and then I would look up the history, and it turns out that actually happened. And then I would be fucking starstruck. I was like, what? Like, it doesn't make sense. But in a way, I start to think I can use this to my advantage. I can now, instead of like thinking of these random things, what if I could streamline these thoughts into, this is what I should do with my content. This is what I should do with my life. This is what I should do with my food, right? People say in intellectual eating, or like where you eat, but it's not a meal plan. You kind of like guess what your body needs. Intuitive eating. It's kind of like that. But I'm taking different parts of that too, where I am making meal prep, I am eating the right food. But I'm also using this intuition almost to streamline the ideas that I have. And to think about what I want to do. So when I funnel this content, when I funnel these ideas, I tend to make content like this, where, I mean, yeah, I'm like sitting next to my car, but, it's more about what I'm thinking now. And the content that I'm making. So I funneled these ideas, and I'm starting now. This is my first YouTube video. Well, the last two are considered also. These videos are documentary style, or videos that I really just intuitively, passionately, trustfully, and truthfully talk without thinking this is wrong, or without thinking a certain way of thinking is wrong. Because I want to talk to my future self saying, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm doing now. But I don't want to talk to anybody else. I want to connect with you, but I'm connecting with the person who's going to look back on this and say, oh, he said that. So I'm not going to say anything that my future self wouldn't want to say, but I'm also going to say what he would say as well. And also, that could be anything. That's where the truth comes from, bro. That's where the passion comes from, is that I can talk about things that other people don't want to talk about. And that gains a level of trust, and gains a level of authority that lets me speak about my truths and what I'm passionate about without letting anybody come near me or come close to me. Because your thoughts are nothing. They don't hurt me, but your thoughts happen to be the most powerful thing to you. So if you streamline those thoughts so that your thoughts are powerful to you, you can use that to your advantage. But you can't just think about something and then materialize it for someone else, and next thing you know, they're not having a great life. If you hate somebody and try to think like you wish the worst on them, most likely it's going to come back to you, and you're going to have a horrible day. It's the way the pendulum swings. But if you just forgive them, and you know that your thoughts are your own thoughts, and that you actually have control of your own future, you can use that to your advantage. And now you have the pendulum swinging in a way where it's almost the axis of where the pendulum, it's like the axis of where the pendulum originates is turning as well. So imagine this is good, and so on the left is good, my left, and on the right is bad. And as the pendulum is swinging to good, you'd think, well, it would come back to bad. Generally. I see it as this. I see it as I can use this to my advantage, where the way that I am, the way that I think, I can turn the axis of where the pendulum hangs from. Therefore, when it goes to good, I turn the axis, and next thing you know, good is neutral. And now you're at good all the time. And it actually is way harder to move it to the right where it's bad. It doesn't swing to bad now. It just doesn't. And so now you're swinging the pendulum over to good. Now it's to great. It's swinging more to the left. And you think, well, just come back down and come to... Well, keep acting the way you are and keep funneling your thoughts through you, and know that you have full control of your future, and your thoughts are intentionally good. And you're moving the axis more and more, so now the great is normal. And so when you do swing back, like let's say you go really, really good, but let's just say something happens where the axis doesn't swing now. It swings back, but it doesn't swing all the way upside down to bad. In fact, at this point, it's impossible, because now you're stuck. You're stuck at this point of where bad is impossible. But it does swing to good. So, things aren't the greatest, but they're good, The snowball effect. When you start something, it's hardest when you start it, but it gets easier over time. And over time, you have a big enough snowball where there's no way that the snowball can get any smaller. There's no way. So now you have a massive snowball, and the snowball can't get any smaller. And if it does melt a little bit, it melts a little bit. But the snowball, it's going downhill, so it just keeps rolling, and it keeps rolling, and it keeps collecting more snow. The point is, you don't go back to being nothing, or being a little rock, or being a little snowball. The same way with the pendulum. So I hope you could take this info. I hope you can watch this over again and understand it a little bit more. It's a little late. Right now, my day looks like waking up, drinking some water, journaling in front of a blue light lamp to get my circadian rhythm going, and then getting my coffee ready, putting on my jacket. Today was the first day I put on a weight vest to walk. I do that for a little extra caloric burn. Back when I was in school, I used to I wore a backpack, and that's when I got shredded for the first time. So I was thinking, well, if I have extra weight on my back, then that must be why. And so I bought a weight vest, and now I'm doing that to walk. But today's the first day I'm doing that. I go for my walk down my valley road, and sometimes I listen to things I want to listen to on YouTube, maybe an audiobook, something that helps me learn, not something that just, is for fun. Because if it's for fun, most likely it's, nothing's bad with it being fun. To me, I'm in a season of learning, and summer only feels good because winter is coming. If summer always stayed summer, you would hate it. So I'm in my season of learning. Sometimes I just walk through nature and I'm just listening to my own thoughts. And then I come back home, I walk up my gravel road. I have a full bottle of water. I just drink some water, change my clothes, and I get ready to go do DoorDash. And that's what I'm doing right now for work. I'm making a little bit of money, just so I can keep a little, just a little stable, so I'm not starving for everything. But I found that DoorDash is the one way that I can. So I've been doing that recently. When I'm doing DoorDash, I bring my meal prep with me. And then after that, I come home, take a shower, journal, meditate, maybe search something up on YouTube. again, it could be learning or it could be something fun. Sometimes my mind just wants a break, so it watches something fun. There's nothing wrong with that. And then I go to bed. So yeah, as I'm in this season, I'm very eager for what is to come. I'm excited, but I'm glad that I can make this YouTube video. I hope you can get some value from it, and I'm gonna go to work. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. I love you, and see you on the next one. Remember, feed your mind, feed your future.